Hey Gentlemen, how about we take a little look-see at the comments and see what movie you want me to talk about next? Whoa! Ah! Whoa! Ah! Alrighty then, it feels like this time we're going diving for everything you missed in the movie Finding Nemo. No floaties this time because apparently you can't scuba dive with floaties on.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good, I can tell.
When Nemo goes crazy and decides to live life on the edge,
He touched the butt.
look at the Nice Humans camera. You will see the famous A113. If you don't know what A113 is by now, you need to go back and watch some of my older videos. On a side note, the camera also has two flashes, a mini flash and a mega flash. This next one probably isn't an Easter egg, unless McDonald's is just that sneaky with their advertising. But every time I see Nemo's home, you know, the anemone.
Okay, don't hurt yourself.
I get the sudden urge to eat McDonald's French fries. If you watch Finding Dory and Finding Nemo, then you probably recognize these landscapers must be related. It's good to see in Finding Nemo that fish don't have any issues with two different types of fish liking each other. Which brings me to my next point. After watching Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, I feel like there might be a little bit of chemistry between Marlin and Dory. Think about that one for a moment.
Him, her, hello.
With all the adventures that Marlin and Dory have been on, one could begin to wonder, I see how he looks at her with them little googly eyes.
This is some kind of practical joke. It's not funny. And I know funny. I'm a clownfish.
We all know that Dory has short-term memory loss, and you might have heard a rumor that fish actually only have a memory span of 10 seconds, right? Well, actually, studies show that fish can actually remember for several months, and some fish learn even longer than that. In fact, there's a fish farm that trains fish by making a noise every time they feed them. Then they let them go out into the ocean, and after the fish grow up and it's time to cook them up on the grill, they make that noise once again. And then all the fish come swimming right on back to them. Apparently shooting fish in a barrel is no longer the easiest method to catch a fish.
P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. I remembered what it said. I usually forget things, but I remembered it that time.
At least Dory learned to remember something. But what's with the 42 Wallaby Way? Just a random made-up address with no meaning, right? Come on now, with Pixar, nothing is random. Remember, Pixar has a lot of respect for stop motion.
That's great. Keep it right there.
And one of the legends of stop motion is Wallace and Gromit. And Wallace and Gromit live at 62 West Wallaby Street. Perhaps, since animation is so similar to stop motion, it would only make sense that they live in the same neighborhood. And then what about P. Sherman? If you try to say P. Sherman 10 times fast, it starts to sound like Fisher Man.
I am a nice shark.
When the sharks have their rehab meeting, they are in an old sunken submarine, obviously. But if you notice, they are actually having the meeting in the kitchen of the submarine. See, there's the dishwashing detergent, and there's the knife drawer.
I don't think I've ever eaten a fish.
In my Toy Story video, we find out that the carpet in the hallway of Sid's house is the same carpet in the hallway of the hotel in the creepy movie called The Shining. They clearly couldn't resist putting another reference to The Shining in Finding Nemo. When Bruce is breaking down the door, we see him recreate the scene of the guy going crazy with the battle axe.
Who is it?
Here's Johnny. Here's Brucey.
In Finding Nemo, we see that the sharks swim backwards all the time. Technically, sharks can't swim backwards. Their fins don't bend that way. They can only swim forwards. That's why, like, when this big gent crashed into the bait cage, he gets stuck and fights so hard and keeps going straight because he can't swim backwards.
Hello, my name is Bruce.
Bruce's shark is a great white shark, so naturally they named him after Bruce, the mechanical shark from the movie Jaws.
I heard he took on 3.
Three sharks?
That's gotta be 4,800 teeth.
I feel like 4,800 teeth is a little bit of an exaggeration though.
Well, actually, Bruce is a great white shark, and on average, they have about 300 teeth. Chum is a mako shark, and they have about 20 rows of teeth. And then Anchor is a hammerhead shark. Hammerhead sharks have about a dozen rows of teeth, with a few extra dozen teeth in each row. So, even though that's a lot of teeth, that's nowhere near 4,800 teeth.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said.
So you are correct.
So what's your point?
Whoa, kill the motor, dude.
When Marlin and Dory are riding the little jellyfish, you will see a brief moment where a little squishy gave a shout out to the happiest place on earth.
Hey, little guy.
Next time you're sitting in the dentist chair and the dentist has his hands all up in your mouth, remember this. The dentist didn't even wash his hands after going to the toilet.
Ew.
We know he didn't wash his hands because the toilet is still flushing when he opens the door, and we can see he's zipping up his pants. Awkward! And whatever was on his hands, he just wiped it off.
Wow, look at all the people.
It's not polite to stare.
They're staring. Bye.
While we're at the dentist's office, take a look-see at the ceiling, and you will see spinning fish. Those spinning fish are the same spinning fish that Sully accidentally brought back into the monster world in Monsters Inc. and eventually tried to flush them down the toilet, ultimately getting Sanderson into some hot water with the CDA.
Trouble?
2319! We have a 2319!
That wasn't the only thing that was in Finding Nemo that made it to Monsters Inc. If we look at the coloring on the wall, it's safe to say that Darla colored it for her uncle, Sherman, you know, the dentist. Remember Mary, otherwise known as Boo? Well, when you look in her room, guess what we see? The same art. Why else would Boo have the same exact coloring that Darla made for her uncle? These three tiki statues are actually created based on the faces of 3 employees at Pixar. Inside the fish tank on the front of the Black Pearl, we can see the girl from the Pixar short, Knick Knack.
And the Oscar goes to Finding Nemo, Andrew Stanton.
Andrew Stanton deservingly won an Oscar for Finding Nemo for Best Animated Feature, but this little guy tells me that he already knew he was going to win. Also, originally they were going to use a calendar to show a countdown to Nemo's death by Darla, with a calendar counting down to Darla's arrival, but instead they decided staring at a broken picture of this girl would be even more scary than a calendar.
And then I saw her face.
Obviously, Peach the starfish is in the shape of a star, but she also has a star on her back.
That's an underwater equivalent to a double rainbow.
But if you thought that was a reference to the Pixar brawl, wrong. The waiting room is packed full of goodies. Breaking news, on the front page, we see an alien stole this poor chap's dingo. What's a dingo? It's like a dog. And there's the Monster Inc. logo on the magazine cover. M is for monster. We already know that Pixar likes showing hidden Easter eggs for their next film and their current film, and Finding Nemo was no exception. This kid is reading an Incredibles comic book magazine, which was the next movie released after Finding Nemo. Also, the dentist put out an ad in the newspaper to get more business. Maybe the people didn't come back because his work left a bad taste in their mouth. If you notice in the waiting room, the lamps look exactly the same. That's because they're twins! These lighthouse lamps are a reference to a real lighthouse called the Twin Lights. 2 lighthouses located on Thatcher Island, and Andrew Stanton, Finding Nemo's director, grew up there. Since each side of the island has its own lighthouse, it only makes sense that each side of the lobby has one too. That painting is also a famous building you can find in Andrew's hometown that a lot of people go there to paint, called Motif Number 1. Also, the picture frame that Darla knocked off the wall is actually a diploma, more specifically, a dentist diploma from Pixar University School of Dentistry. And naturally, the alien from Toy Story is the official seal. And there's the plane and Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. Also, let's go on a train of thought here, just for a moment of course. And take note that the lobby is decorated in ocean theme, obviously, and no ocean theme would be complete without a treasure chest. But no treasure chest would be complete without treasure in it. So if we take a little bit closer of a look at the treasure chest, what do you see there? That's the Pixar ball.
I knew it.
Pixar is located in Emeryville, California. And if you look through the tank, there is a sticker on the wall representing their home turf, Emeryville.
What the?
Here's a better angle of the same sticker. Even the fake plants that were in the aquarium were made in Emeryville. I bet you thought those were made in China, didn't you?
China.
I think that this alligator on the wall is an Easter egg to the alligator in Disney's Peter Pan. but I will let you decide. What do you think? Should we make this one an honorary, unofficial Easter egg to Peter Pan or not? Vote right there now before time runs out. Finally, they all escaped the unsanitary dentist's office.
Now what?
But when they were planning the escape, if we slow things down a bit, you will see the famous pizza truck is driving by. But did you happen to notice who's driving? It's me.
Oh, help me! I'm trapped in your TV!
Come on.
Also, the other car that was on the road is Luigi from Cars. When Dory and Marlin finally get to Sydney Harbor, the Butts have a few Easter eggs.
Oh, look at me! I'm gonna go touch the bot!
The Aeolus 3 is the name of Andrew Stanton's father's boat. This boat is named after Jerome Rampt, a sculptor for Pixar, and he's also the brother of Joe Rampt. And this boat is For the Birds, a Pixar short, which I hope by now you've seen. Just when we thought all was going well and Nemo's free, Dory gets caught in the fishing net.
Swim down! Come on, kids! Swim down! Come on!
We have to tell all the fish to swim down together!
Nemo recycles the idea to tell everyone to swim down.
Everybody jump in!
Swim down!
We all know that he got that idea from Sharkbait when the dentist tried to catch Nemo. But where did Sharkbait get the idea from? Probably a newspaper he read in the waiting room. That's right, gents and gentlettes, this happened in real life. All the fish swam away from the fishing boat, pulling the boat down. But in real life, the pole didn't just snap. Nope, it sunk the entire boat. But Pixar thought it would be bad luck if their movie sunk a ship, so they opted to just break the pole instead. Maybe Disney should think about that for their next movies.
That was cold.
No pun intended.
He really isn't that funny.
Pity.
At the end, they show In Loving Memory of Glenn McQueen. And if you already watched my Cars video, you know they named Lightning McQueen after Glenn McQueen in memory of him. And at the end, we see Mike swimming off to Monsters, Inc. Thank you for going on another Easter egg adventure with me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you already subscribed, I will see you next week with another great adventure. Remember, share a smile. They are contagious.
Bye, son.
We learned in Finding Nemo that Nemo was lost, but he wasn't the only one that was lost, no. Dory didn't even know where she was going, and she didn't even know where her parents were, but most importantly, she didn't know who she was. With Finding Dory, we get to go on a journey with her and help her find herself. But did you know there are several Easter eggs in there? Get out your floaties, gents and gentlettes, because we're going diving for Easter eggs. Spoiler alert. Now let's dive right into the beginning where you can see they pay tribute to the famous A113. With the tags of the two sea lions, A1 and 13, it also is the license plate number for the big bad truck that tries to take Dory away from all of her friends. Now there are only 3 sharks in Finding Nemo, right? So then why in the world did Marlin think that there were 4?
4 sharks.
Wait, I thought there were 3 sharks.
No, there were definitely 4.
Did he make a mistake, or was he referencing to the 4th shark in this movie? No. We're not talking about Destiny here. I'm talking about the truck. Look at the grill of the truck, and you can clearly see the truck is made by shark. While we're already looking at the truck, let's take a moment and notice the horn. It's the Pixar ball, camouflaged. The original voice for Nemo was Alexander Gould. He's all grown up now and doesn't exactly sound like Nemo anymore, so naturally he didn't get the job for this film.
We are so fired!
Don't worry, Alex, they're not gonna fire you. You can be the trucker. That's right, Alex is the voice for this guy. If you already watched my Incredibles video, then you will know Pixar likes putting the Pixar studio address in their movies. Here we can see on the boat it reads PA1200, referring to their address 1200 Park Avenue. And they were founded in 1986. Apparently, so was this boat. If you went on a ride in the submarines at Disneyland, you might have already seen this Easter egg, Darla. You know, the evil girl that likes to kill fishes. No surprise here that we find her in quarantine as well. No surprise because she's sick. Also, the seawater pipe that says TL59, that's a little reference to the original submarine voyage that was made in Tomorrowland back in 1959. No ocean movie would be complete without these adorably shellfish birds. Speaking in references to the first movie, if you are wondering what happened to all those fish from the dentist aquarium in Finding Nemo, then that means you left before the credits were over. Because at the end of the credits, we see all of them floating by, and naturally Jux Bag is the only one that doesn't have algae on it. Remember, he was obsessed with cleaning the tank? They also brought back Crush and Squirt. I'm sure you didn't miss that. If you did, bonk. But did you notice they also have a model though of Crush and Squirt hanging from a ceiling of the open ocean? If you don't notice this Easter egg, you need to remind yourself the same company that made this movie also made Toy Story. That's right, the toy is alive. And it's trying to show Marlin how to escape. This is probably also the Easter egg to Toy Story 4, scheduled to release in 2019. But we will have to just wait and see. If you watch closely here, you will also see someone in the background is shoplifting from the gift shop. We all know Riley had a rough time in the movie Inside Out. Thankfully, it all worked out for her though, and she even went on vacation. That's right, you can clearly see her here in the crowd enjoying the show. Also, the random facts that you hear like octopus having 3 hearts or scallops having a bunch of little eyeballs, guess what? They're true, and it's a little bit creepy. Scallops have dozens of eyes. Also, don't forget the lonely volcano from the short Lava. The one set of numbers that is seen over and over in this movie is the number found on Dory's tag, 3181. Now this seems random, but as you should know by now, with Pixar, nothing is random, and there's always a reason. After doing some digging, I discovered that it is the same last 4 digits to the office phone for the director and writer, Andrew Stanton. And to save him from getting floods of calls, I'm not going to release the other digits, but just to prove it, I'm going to give him a call.
It's raining. He screens his calls. I'm not a screen yet.
Hi, this is Andrew. I'm not in right now, so if you leave your name and number, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi Andrew, it's Crazy Nate. I just want to say good job on the film. We all enjoyed it, and we're trying to find all the Easter eggs, but we can't find the Cars 3 Easter egg. Please give us a hint. Thanks, bye. For this next one, you probably need high definition and Blu-ray to probably be able to even come close to seeing this one. On the wall, there is a Wall-E calendar. Wall-E calendar. You might have seen the video that Pixar released claiming that Hank the Octopus, Septopus, is in every single Pixar video. Before you go crazy looking for him, remember this. We already covered Toy Story extensively and didn't see him anywhere. Also, this was posted on April 1st. You know, April Fools. One of the most prized Easter eggs of all time for Pixar is the Pizza Planet delivery truck. Have no fear, they put it in there. If you follow Andrew Stanton on Twitter, you already know this, and you also know that it's within the first 20 minutes of the movie. If you want to find this on your own, plug your eyes and close your ears for the next few moments, okay? Alright, I warned you. When Dory is swimming away from the kinda scary, kinda cool octopus, look closely at the rubble and you will see the truck right there. Still didn't see it? What if I slow it down a little bit? Okay, for those of you that closed your eyes, you can open them now. Hello? Hello? Well, I guess they're going to join us eventually. Okay, so Paul Kanyuk is the technical artist for Finding Dory. He is also this dude pushing a stroller. The 2 sea lions are often the comedic punchline, but they never really made it clear which one is Fluke and which one is Rudder. Well, this one is Fluke and that one is Rudder. Not only are these 2 extremely lazy, but they are also bullies. It's very clear that Gerald is being bullied by these guys. There's plenty of room on the rock for all 3 of them, but they won't share. Now don't worry, if you watch to the end, I mean the end, past all the credits, then you already know that we can learn something valuable from Gerald. and that is that eventually you can outsmart your bullies. It's good to see that Pixar is including Disney in their Easter eggs. Here you can see Herbie, you know, the famous love bug. Now, unlike my Toy Story video, I don't think Pixar is mad at Disney anymore. I was originally thinking maybe it was a hint, and that Disney drowned, and Herbie didn't use the Rusties, you know, that stuff that Lightning McQueen is sponsored by.
Formula. Nothing sues a rusty bumper like Rusties. Wow, look at that shine.
But then I started remembering they also put their most prized object, you know, the Pizza Planet, at the bottom of the ocean. So obviously there was no bad blood there. Thanks, Taylor. More proof is that Pixar said this.
No shout out.
Well, it's all, we're all one big happy family.
So this can mean only one thing.
They're all friends now. Yay!
I know what you're thinking, stop it. You're thinking this is the car for Cars 3, huh? Nope. Pixar already confirmed that the car was not an Easter egg for Cars 3, and Andrew said that the biggest clue he can give you on your little journey to finding the Cars 3 reference is that the Easter egg is not, I repeat, not a car. Here's a part of the Disney logo on the tire that Dory's parents lived in. Ooh. Okay, for this next part, don't blink. When you watch the scene near the Pixar ball, really slowly, you will see a car is driving with only 3 wheels. Wow. Have you also noticed the dorkfish? If you ever heard of the comedian Bill Engvall, then you already heard about the dorkfish. It's clear to me that this guy is a dorkfish. Did you know that Pixar put a reference to Die Hard in Finding Dory? They had Dory going through the pipes just like John did. Also, in the touch tank where they're getting Hank and Hans all mixed up, this is a reference to Die Hard.
Hank? Hans. No, not Hans. I'm looking for Hank. Hans. Hank with a K. Hank.
Hands!
Hands? Oh, Hands!
I thought I told all of you I want radio silence until further. Sorry, Hans.
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 If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. Also, I'm going to be having a giveaway soon. Sign up for your chance to win at crazynate.com. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video made you smile. And remember, share a smile with someone today. They are contagious. Oi, you don't need to adjust your screen. I may have ran over a Smurf on the way here.
Up the Smurfing Creek without a paddle.
Let's look at another Pixar movie. Today's fate will have us traveling to the 10th century hills of Scotland to find all the Easter eggs and secrets that Merida hid in the movie Brave. Merida was the very first Pixar character to be made a Disney princess. Before we even open the case to your Blu-ray or DVD, look at the cover. If you have the Ultimate Collector's Edition, you will see Mordu, the bear, hiding in the background. However, if you have the standard DVD, you're not going to see it. One thing you could see, though, is in the posters of the theaters advertising for Brave, we see what appears to be her ma, Queen Eleanor. Also in the logo for Brave, we see Merida in the B and Queen Eleanor is in the E. The Pizza Planet truck has been around since the beginning of Pixar's life in Toy Story. In Brave, we can see the witch carved it out of wood.
Wood carver.
This makes a lot of people question, who in the world is the witch? And how does she know about Pizza Planet? Now, a lot of people think that she's Boo, all grown up from Monsters, Inc. And this is because she's stuck in a time-traveling spell to try to find Sully. However, I think it's just a clever way to put the Pizza Planet truck into a 10th century time era. Another thing we get to see, though, that adds to the conspiracy is that inside the witch's cabin, we actually see a carved wooden version of Sully. The real reason that we see Sully, though, is because Monsters University was the very next movie after Brave, and they like to hide Easter eggs to their next movie in their current movie, remember? But some people think that this helps explain the witch's fascination with bears, because they look a lot like Sully. Okay, fine, so they put Sully in the movie just because they needed a reference to the next movie, which was Monsters University. So that explains why Sully's there. But then why is Sully on the table again? Or then he's hanging up on the wall again? Sully is literally all over the place in this little witch's cabin. Okay, some people are still questioning whether or not this is still an older version of Boo. Well, perhaps you noticed something else. Boo is fascinated with the door.
Boo.
And every time she goes through this door, the room magically changes. So today's survey question is this: do you think Boo from Monsters, Inc. is also the witch from Brave? Vote no. Now, Cars 2 was the last movie to come out before Brave. That's why in the pub we see a Cars version of the tapestry in Cars 2. If you watch my Cars 2 video, you already know about this one. If you don't, I won't judge you if you go back and watch it now. Another first in Brave was this is the first time Pixar ever had nudity in one of their movies.
Right.
Even with this moment though, Brave is still rated PG. Fun little fact, traditionally they don't wear anything under their kilts. So when Lord Dingwat here lifts his kilt, he's showing everything, and that's why this scene is really gross.
Well, that's just grand now, isn't it?
You don't believe me? Well, watch this.
Feast your eyes.
John Ratzenberger has been Pixar's good luck charm since day one. He's always been a voice of one of the characters. In Brave, John is Gordon the guard.
Hi there, coming. They want to announce the arrival of the large...
In case you're not as artsy as me, Michelangelo has a famous painting that seems to find its way into a lot of movies, like a lot. The witch here made a bear version wood carving of the painting, with God touching his finger to man. Some people think that this movie has a little bit too much nudity and violence. The fight scenes though were actually originally much more intense than what we saw. But they pulled back the fights just a little bit to make it a little less violent. In fact, there are over 100 deleted scenes for the movie. But if you watch the violent scenes really closely, they put a lot of comedy in there to make it less violent. This horn sounds a little bit familiar. Kind of like the horn used in Bug's Life to warn the ants of when Hopper was arriving.
They're here.
This isn't the first time we've seen someone's teeth knocked out in a fight. Does this scene look familiar? Remember in Mulan when we see a guy get his teeth knocked out?
Oh, sorry, Lane.
If you pay close attention to Queen Eleanor when she's in bear form, she doesn't just randomly turn into an evil bear at any random time. She only turns bear-like when it involves food. Every single time she turned into bear form, it was because of food.
Mum? Not no. No, please, not no.
Then she turns back into mama mode when she's almost ready to hurt somebody because that's the furthest thing from her personality. Scotland also has a real place like this called the Callanish Stones on the Isle of Lewis. And just like in Brave, there's a lot of mystery to what the stones are really meant for. Another part of Scotland's history that they're famous for is the Loch Ness Monster. One of the many scenes that were cut was one scene with a Loch Ness Monster.
There's deja vu.
However, it made too many questions for the movie, like what is this thing and everything like that, so they decided to cut it. However, we still see a sneak peek to the mysterious creature on the map. In the credits, they pay tribute to Steve Jobs for his work and dedication to Pixar. They also name these two characters after Apple, which is Steve Jobs' company. That's right, Lord Macintosh and his son, young Macintosh, are named after Apple. Also, in case you haven't noticed by now, Lord Macintosh looks like his war paint is straight out of the movie Braveheart. Though this idea isn't confirmed, what Pixar did confirm is the reference to Braveheart at the beginning when they're flying through the clouds. That was a reference to Braveheart and Sound of Music.
Very nice.
Also, I can't seem to shake the feeling that Lord Macintosh looks a lot like the co-director, Mark Andrews. Let's go back to the witch's cottage for a moment. There are a lot more Easter eggs in there. The Black Widow is a known sign for death, and the door knocker is in the shape of a Black Widow. So you're literally knocking on death's door. Also, the old witch herself even walks like a spider. Above the door, we also get a chance to see our famous A113. Now, I know it doesn't exactly look like A113. That's because it's written in Roman numeral. So obviously the A represents A, the C represents 100, X represents 10, and the 3 ones obviously is for 3, making the sign say A113.
partner.
When the witch has a potion-made answering machine, it blows up at the end, just like in the original Mission Impossible shows. They had an answering machine that blew up at the end. On the table near the door, there's a wooden carving of the Pixar ball. And I also think that the shield is a medieval version of the Pixar ball, with a star in the middle and a line around it. Now, I didn't find the famous Pixar look, the lamp, but I found something dating to before the lamp. That's right, Pixar's original logo. Basically, their logo used to be a big block with 4 little dots sitting below it. The windows just happen to have 4 little dots. Meanwhile, back at the witch's cottage, earlier the witch makes a potion and the scene resembles the evil queen from Snow White a lot. They obviously are both old witches, they both have a black crow, and they even tease us by making us think she's gonna pull out an apple. Only last minute it turns into something that looks quite delicious, even though it tastes like your mom's used shoe. But they did put an Easter egg in the pot for Pixar, the weird little lizard she just drew in. It's not just any lizard though, that's Newt. That was gonna be a movie that Pixar almost made, but then they canceled it. But this isn't the first time we saw the Newt, and it probably isn't gonna be the last time we saw Newt. We also saw him in Toy Story 3 on the back of Andy's bedroom door. During the dinner scene, it looks like one of the triplets was playing with his food, making what appears to be Mr. Potato Head.
More like a misfire.
However, it's not actually a potato. In fact, it's called haggis, and it's a very common dish in Scotland. Basically, it's all sorts of interesting guts shoved inside a stomach and cooked.
Now, how do you know you don't like it if you won't try it? That's just a wee sheep stomach.
When these red-headed triplets of terror are stealing the goods, we see a hidden Mickey laid out in the rope. Also, they have the same hidden Mickey somewhere in Disneyland. When the fake bear is running through the castle, the triplets keep going through all these little hidden tunnels and crawl spaces. This is just like the real castle in Scotland that Pixar went to when they were researching the movie.
Subterranean chambers undiscovered.
If you actually own the movie Brave, then you want to go watch the extras. At one point, they tease that there's going to be a Brave 2.
Oh.
That she's gonna make this amazing queen one day. I can write a happy ending for Merida and Mom. And I'm sure we'll have one too.
Sometimes Pixar likes to hide post-credit scenes in their movies, and Brave is one of those movies that you want to watch past the credits because you're going to get to see this scene.
Delivery! Sign here! Sign here! Ah! Come on! Bird brain! Have a good all day!
Expect delivery of your purchase within a fortnight. Fortnight. Ooh, have a lovely day.
In case you're wondering what a fortnight means, no, in this case it doesn't mean Fortnite the game, it means 2 days.
And you know what that means, yes! 2 is the number of the day!
Fun little fact is that the wisp is actually a real thing in real life. What? That's right, I said it, it's real. In Scotland, there is a gas that comes out of the ground and it is ignited by static electricity and it's blue. Legend has it that these wisps will find lost travelers, and if they like you, they'll lead you to safety. If they don't like you, they'll lead you to danger. That's why sometimes we see the wisp lead Merida to safety and sometimes it led her to certain almost completely death. She almost died. Subscribe and click the little bell so you don't miss our next adventure, and let me know in the comments what movie you want to talk about next. But remember, most importantly of all, gents and gentlets, share a smile, they are contagious. If you like my shirt, you can get it at crazynate.com. Merch!
Hey, share a smile, they're contagious. Can you imagine a day without smiling? Whew, that would be outrageous. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with Crazy Nate. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if he left you feeling great. Have fun and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe.
All right.
Alrighty, so this is going to be the first video I'm making this year, and you asked for it, so I combed through the movie to find all the little hidden secrets you might have missed. That's right, Ginger Gentlemen, it's time to talk about everything you missed in Disney's movie, Tangled. If you remember from my video about Moana, the magical flower from the drop of sunlight made it to the movie Moana. Being trapped in the tower her whole life, Rapunzel spent a lot of her time painting. If you look closely at the painting though, it started off as a bad painter. Her earlier artwork is near the floor where a smaller person, like a child, would have been able to reach. Then as she grew older, her paintings got better. Tangled was the 50th animated feature that Disney ever made. So to celebrate, they put references to some of our favorite Disney movies in this movie. Along with the paintings of what her life would be like outside of the walls of the tower, she also paints Easter eggs of her favorite movies. On the first stair post we see of the apple from Snow White.
Have a bite?
The next stair post has a glass slipper from Cinderella.
But you see, I have the other slipper.
Then the very next post has the famous rose from Beauty and the Beast. But if we take a second to look at the beginning before all this happened, if you look at the little spinning thing up there, you will notice that it has a rubber ducky on it. And that may look like a reference to Monsters Inc. when Sully brings Boo into Monsters Land. However, it's actually a sneak peek to the adventure that Rapunzel is about to go on. So we see Pascal and the birds that she gets to sing with when she finally escapes the tower.
I'm completely free.
Then we of course see Maximus the horse.
Nobody appreciates you, do they?
Then the ugly duckling from the pub.
Ah, there it is.
And lastly, of course, we have the creepy angel. In the tower, we also see a shout out to Sleeping Beauty. Where? Notice the spinning wheel in the background? It's the same exact one from Sleeping Beauty.
Touch the spindle.
By the way, am I the only one that finds it a little bit odd that she trusts Rapunzel with scissors? Or did she cut her hair off when the old witch was gone? Speaking of the old witch, you know, a lot of people think that Boo is Witch from Brave with the whole Pixar theory and everything. Well, what about this? What if she isn't? What if the old witch from Brave is actually Gothel from Tangled?
Oh, great. Now I'm the bad guy.
Some of the original drawings of Gothel kind of do look like the witch from Brave. And she disappears when she falls off the tower. So maybe she time traveled to find the secret to beauty. Either way, if you look in the tower, you can see the witch's broom made it up there somehow. Let's do survey time real quick. Do you think that this broom in Rapunzel's tower is the broom from Brave, the broom from Fantasia, or both, or a brand new broom that we never saw before until Tangled? Vote now or tell me in the comments which one you think it is. So here's a random fact. The tower was 70 feet tall and they made Rapunzel's hair 75 feet long in order to be able to pull up Gothel up and down on her little pulley thing. But when she slides down with her own hair, in order to make this scene actually possible, she would need 150 feet of her own hair to successfully be able to lower herself up and down without tying off the end of her hair like with a knot or something on the hook.
What? Oh, darling, I'm just teasing.
There's something else in her tower, though, that may be giving tribute to another Disney classic, and that's the guitar. This could be from Robin Hood. The rooster had one just like it.
Oh, incidentally, I'm Alan Adeo, a minstrel. Oh, that's an early day folk singer.
What? This scene looks familiar, doesn't it? Maybe she should go into the light so he can see her a little bit better.
Come into the light.
So the ugly duckling.
No, the snuggly duckling.
Alright, sorry. So the snuggly duckling has several Easter eggs. Let's go ahead and brush out a few of them, shall we? Hair joke. Brian Howard and Nathan Greeno are the directors behind Tangled, and we get to see them in the Dreamy song. These guys are right here. The bad guy also happens to have a hook, and he's playing a piano with his hook.
But what's this?
Paying a subtle hint probably to the bad guy that also has a hook from this one show called Peter Pan.
Then it is true.
Walt Disney was secretly working on trying to make the Tangled a reality since the 1940s, so they're going to be trying to sneak in as many of his movies in there as they can. When the angel is flying around at the pub, if you look closely everywhere except for at the angel, you will see our favorite little wooden puppet Pinocchio is hanging out on the ceiling.
Can you see me with the special little lady?
Here's one. These two bad guys in a boat, one with an umbrella while the other one rows. Sounds like something a pirate would do if you ask me.
Stop that. I really feel like a fool.
Look nice, son.
Now, of course, one of the first things Rapunzel would want to do with her day of freedom is visit a bookstore. Now, it might not have as many books as Beast's private collection from Beauty and the Beast had, but it definitely has Disney books. Over here we see Sleeping Beauty on the display by the window. Then look over on the floor and you'll see that's Beauty and the Beast. See, it's Beast holding a little flower. Then of course we have Little Mermaid, the book. Speaking of Little Mermaid, if you watch to the end credits you will also see apparently Ariel is wanted by the law. Near the end of the movie, when Flynn is breaking out of jail to go rescue Rapunzel, he gets launched into the air and lands on Maximus the horse. Ouch. But, did you see that? Let's watch it again one more time. Look on top of the tower and you will see the 3 pigeons from Disney's movie Bolt hanging out up there.
What? You gotta give me something here, cause this is redonkulous.
Absolutely redonkulous.
Another thing that we're going to see in the credits is a fortune teller. This is a reference to a deleted scene where originally there was going to be a monkey storyteller, but thankfully they deleted that scene because it just took way too much attention away from the actual story and it was kind of weird. One of the best moments in the movie is when Eugene and Rapunzel were watching the lanterns from their little boat. They also lit their own little lantern. So romantic. Some of these designs though on these little lanterns look a little bit like Mickey if you ask me. I'll let you decide if that one is a Mickey. I'm pretty sure it is. Regardless, also if you wanted to stop and count every single lantern, there were 45,000 lanterns that they used to make this awesome scene. And no, I didn't count them myself. Disney told me. Find these hidden Easter eggs in this video and leave a comment where they are. Don't forget to include #hair for your chance to win a free shirt. I hope this is your best year yet. Enjoy your life. Every day is a gift. And when you have a chance, share a smile. They are contagious. Now I'll leave you with a Disney parade from D23 that I went to last year. Bye.